Whether you're just delving into the world of voiceover,
you're an established voice actor,
or you just want to listen to some unfiltered thoughts and opinions about the industry,
then this podcast is for you.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Jen. And this is the Off Air Podcast.
Hello. Welcome to the grand final of season 1 of the Off Air Voiceover Podcast, aptly named The Aftermath.
Can you believe we've got to the last episode of season 1?
I know, yeah. I thought we would have maybe got flooded with complaints like, please, will you just stop releasing this
Or just had a massive argument and get cancelled. That's season 2.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm feeling a bit jaded.
Yeah.
My voice definitely has dropped about an octave, I think, since the weekend. How about you?
I'm all right. Yes, I woke up yesterday in the hotel. I was like, wow, I have got a rather large headache. And then like sometimes when you've had too much to drink, my voice like a Barry White off Wish.
Yeah.
I felt rough as anything.
I actually, because I didn't drink loads on Saturday night, so I felt okay yesterday, but I feel really tired today. Just really spent.
Do you know, I don't. All things considered, since I've got older, I do love a good drink, right? But I'm acutely aware that my hangovers last about 4 days, and that's not an exaggeration.
Hangovers really ruin it, don't they?
The first,
really take the fun out of it.
Yeah, the first 24, 48 hours, it's like the worst mental tiredness and fatigue, lethargic, no creativity, no motivation. And roughly by Wednesday, I'm starting to feel a bit like myself again, and Thursday, we're starting to get back to normal. And then someone will text me Friday, do you want to come out for a beer? And I'm like, yep. And then we start the cycle again. So,
oh, God, yeah.
But yeah, but all things considered, considering it's Monday, I actually feel all right. I actually do feel all right. I've had a pretty productive day so far, and I feel okay. But I don't know, maybe leading myself into a false sense of security, and it's all going to come crashing down later on in the day.
Yeah, I feel like the adrenaline's keeping you going. You keep moving, and then when you stop, you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, what a fantastic weekend. So obviously, the first thing is just to say, it was so fantastic to meet so many people that you sort of communicate with via the socials, and to see familiar faces. You'll know who you are. New faces, you'll know who you are. Getting to meet people. Oh, fucking hell as well. Some people, I know, because you did the whole weekend. I only came for the awards, so there was 24 hours worth of meets and greets that I missed out on. So when I got there and I met you, even in a short space of time, I was like, I had people coming up to me saying, "Oh, you're Michael from the podcast," and I was blown. I was overwhelmed by that. I was like, and some of these people I had not met before. I'd met them maybe it's you don't talk very often, etc. And some people I'd not met before, and I was just like, yeah. For those that did come and say hello, and more importantly say that you enjoy waffles, then thank you. Honestly, it was just incredibly kind. And then I saw you. And you said same thing. A few people have popped up to you. So yeah, we're just tremendously grateful that some of you took the time to come up to us and tell us that you're enjoying the podcast so much. It was.
Thank you.
It really it was.
Yeah, really nice. I think you just don't know how people are going to receive it, so we're very, very grateful. Thank you. But I do feel like, in case anyone didn't get the memo, we are largely going to talk about the one voice conference. We've not actually said that so far in the episode.
It wasn't like one of our birthday parties yesterday. So just seeing faces and I had the best time. I had such a great laugh seeing people. I didn't go with any sort of nerves or apprehensions. I just went looking forward to it.
Did you not?
No, not at all.
I always go to these things with quite a lot of anxiety about. I get a bit overwhelmed with lots and lots of people now, and I don't know, the feeling of needing to be on and to be really nice, and I don't know. Not that I wouldn't be nice, but I get a bit overwhelmed. So I was quite nervous, I think.
You don't want people to come so you're actually a bit of a dick in real life.
Yeah, she seems really nice in that podcast, but what a twat. Yeah.
No, I was really looking forward to it because I knew there was a couple of people that I was going to meet in person, for the first time that I speak to, WhatsApp groups and stuff.
Yeah, I was definitely looking forward to it, but also just a bit nervous.
Yeah, but no, I had a fantastic time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, but my only gripe is, and quite a few other people agreed with me this as well.
Mm-hmm.
I love that hotel, but fuck me, is it inconvenient to get to? I don't think it's the most convenient place to get to.
No, it's not. It's not. And I think they've chosen it because it's just slightly it's obviously quite central, but it's like a more reasonable price, isn't it? So to be a bit further out is a bit cheaper, but it's an absolute arse
It is
for a
pain to
lot of
get to.
people.
But I do love it though, and I think it's
amazing
it's a
once you're
great place,
there.
the great views. It's
Amazing
like it's
once
like
you're
if that was my only.
Yeah.
Don't want to use the word complaints. Nothing to complain about. But sometimes I found it's like, yeah, sometimes I find it a bit of a pain to get to and from. But once you're there, you forget all about it.
Yeah,
but
you do.
another
And you're in this
fantastic
little bubble, aren't you?
Yeah, but another fantastic show put on by the One Voice team, Gravy for the Brain. You guys
Oh
are
God, I
just
don't know how they do it.
Peter Dixon with his outfit. It was just absolutely loved it.
Oh my
His
God, I'd
energy on
forgotten
stage.
about that. At the start of the ceremony, there was they put on like a production. It was like the guy was dressed as a cowboy though. It was like the whole theme was around punk. I was a bit confused about that.
Yeah, just like
what was
the
relevance of that? But they were amazing. Like I was hyped.
He was really good fun. Fun. But it was just they put on another fantastic show. But obviously you did the conference side of it, so I wasn't there for that. So talk to me about that. How did that go?
Well, I went down on Friday for 2 workshops. So I did the first one with Kristin Piver around animation. So she's ex-Disney and she set up her own production company, and that was fantastic. Just like how we had characters that we had to work on, and then we got feedback, obviously, and made adjustments and things. And she's lovely. If anyone gets a chance to do a workshop with her, I would absolutely recommend it. And one of the things she was saying, though, which is very humbling, is about for every audition she puts out, she'll get 1,000 auditions for every character.
Oh, wow.
And you just think, and she listens to every single one.
God.
So, I mean, that just shows you like how good you have to be, like, and very quickly good, because if she's into 1,000 episodes, she's not going to audition. She's not going to be listening to loads of it, is she? So, yeah, you got to keep her engaged. And then the one in the afternoon was called Ready Player One with David Menken and Jane. Oh my God, I've forgotten her surname.
It's okay. The brain cells are only just starting to regenerate.
Yeah, Jane Perry, who honestly was so amazing, and it was the same deal. Characters, read it out and stuff, but they were so nurturing. Like it's a small space downstairs in one of the rooms. Like it was quite intense, but you felt absolutely safe and didn't feel like, because the workshops can be quite daunting. You know, you're standing in front of peers and you put yourself out there. And they were so wonderful. So I really am grateful. And again, I would absolutely recommend doing something with them. And I do think the workshops, because they were 3 hours, and they're about £100 each or something. So obviously it gets very expensive, but actually in the scheme of it, that's very reasonable. When you think about the other 3-hour workshops that get put on, they wouldn't be £100, or rarely. So I'm just listening. My voice is so gravelly right now. I don't normally sound like this.
I tell you what, you did well Saturday night, actually, because you were on stage doing the audio drama thing, weren't you? So you were relatively sensible Saturday night because of that.
I had to
commitment.
be, because I do, because I was super excited about that and really honoured to be cast. I didn't want to fuck it up. I didn't want to make an absolute tit of myself. But I think I did take the slime off shyly off. Shyly? That is not what I meant. It took the shine off. Oh my God.
I think we get it. I think everyone listening is probably trying to finish your sentence for you.
Please stop talking, Jen.
Took the shine off
slightly. Thank you very much. I'm so glad I've not got any recordings today.
In terms of outfits and everything, there was some absolute corkers.
Oh my God.
Helen's outfit was fantastic. Katie Flanagan, is it Flanagan? Flamin, that's it, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
she
Katie, if you
looked
listening.
legendary.
With the mohawk and everything, it was wicked.
And because she's just not like that, like it was so, I love that commitment. It was amazing, and she looked phenomenal. Like I said to her, like, maybe consider like doing more of this. You look amazing.
Well, the thing is, I'd sort of made a commitment with my outfit that I was going to go black on black, or like black suit, black tie, black shirt. I love getting
you could go red carpet, weren't you?
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I bought this black suit for my mum's funeral last year, and it's almost like a year, like to the month. I was like, I'd be fine, I'd be sweet. I'll just, put the suit back on. So what happened was, put the jacket on, slapped it on. I was like, and as soon as I put it on, I was like, oh God. And then like,
no.
Like, oh God. But the thing is like, I thought I could maybe get away with it because it was tight around the back and the shoulders, and I was like, as long as you don't like sort of put your arms out like a zombie or something.
Yeah, but you're going to be hugging people, aren't you, and stuff though? And are you a hugger?
Yeah, I'd call it more of an embrace. I love a good embrace with someone, like especially people you like, you get on with. I love a good embrace. Anyway, Then it came to the trousers. So I was like, if the jacket's a bit tight. So I put the trousers up. Forget it. It's not happening. Forget it. Not happening. So then I thought, right, I'm going to have to just go. And then, so what I did, I Googled it. I was like, what is a punk outfit? And he basically said it's just a pair of jeans, usually a band T-shirt or a black T-shirt. But the main thing was the accessories and military boots. So I thought, right, hang on a minute. I've got a pair of washed out black jeans. I've got loads of black T-shirts because I wear them all the time. And I've got my old Timberland boots that I don't really wear. But I thought if I just bang that together, jumped on Amazon, bought some like bracelets and the chain for my trousers. I thought, and ideally wanted to decorate the boots as well, but it was a lot more faff to do that. So I just left it in the end. And I thought, I've made an effort there. And I'll be honest with you, I know it's nice to get dressed up, but personally, I find suits really uncomfortable to wear. They're not, they're just not overly
Yeah, and
comfortable.
There's a lot of people who are like absolutely sweating cobs, weren't they? Just
Exactly.
really hot. Yeah.
So yeah.
You're like prancing around your T-shirt.
Exactly. So in the end, when I realised I could pull off, like an acceptable level of, punk with all the accessories, I was actually really happy because I thought I'm going to be so much more comfortable. So that was that. But yeah, the outfits were fantastic. But honestly, everyone just looked fantastic as per usual.
They did, yeah.
I'm just gutted. There's so many people I didn't get photographs with.
Oh, same. I was
gutted.
So shit with photos this year.
I was
like, I'm going to make a reel about One Voice. I took some footage on the way down. Fuck all while I'm there. If anybody wants to watch my reel of basic public transport, then I'll be sharing on Instagram this week.
Jen's review of the public transport system.
How to get down from my house to One Voice. Yeah, I still might share it just to make me laugh. It's interesting though, like when there seems to be a lot of debate before and whilst we're there as well about who it's for. Like a lot of people see it as being like actually it's more appropriate for people who are newer in the industry. A lot of the workshops are more entry level kind of stuff. The talks, not the workshops necessarily. Have you got any thoughts on that? I guess you weren't there this year, were you?
I had a lot of people. So at breakfast. That conversation came up quite a lot amongst other people. So the general feedback was positive. It was they enjoyed everything that they consumed. But some people felt that if you are experienced, there wasn't a great deal of information that you didn't necessarily already know.
Yeah.
If you're more new,
there's always learning to have, isn't there? But I know what you mean, like whether the bulk of it is stuff you already know or practice or whatever.
But I see the thing is now I haven't done the whole conference, and although what they're saying kind of makes sense, I think like myself and a lot of other people would probably still continue to do it because even if it's just a little bit of new information, it's relevant. But more importantly, I think it's the coming away feeling rejuvenated. All that goes with it.
I like that. I mean, we'll talk a bit more about like how we feel now, but from being fully immersed in that world with people who go through exactly the same things as you. And like, so at the awards, I wasn't nominated for an award, but it was so fucking inspiring to see people at the top of their game and see some of the pieces they've been put forward for and stuff and just think, fucking hell, I want to be doing this. I want to keep pushing myself to get better, to get opportunities that I maybe don't have that would stretch me, that, I'm able to show what I can do with as well. So that it's so motivating in that respect. VO Atlanta, I've heard, is a really good one for people who've been in the game longer. And I just hope that, I don't know, Hugh, if you're listening, trying to get, replicate that, I suppose, because, a lot of us won't be able to afford to go to Atlanta. Like how can we get those kind of, that learning here?
I was chatting to Gregory.
Gregory.
I can't remember.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
He's either got a New Zealand or Australian accent. He listens to the pod. He came up to me and said, listens to the pod. He knows exactly who he is, but listens to this. Greg, I'm sorry, mate. You know exactly who you are. He said that what happens at VO Atlanta
stays at VO Atlanta.
Somebody else came over. He was saying that there's a lot of agents, casting directors that mingle within the crowd of people. It's not whereas One Voice is largely other VO centric. And then you have your panel, but apparently he said at VO Atlanta,
yes, I've heard that
it's
as well.
not just voiceovers that go, it's industry experts that come as well and mingle in the crowd. Obviously, this is all how accurate
No,
that
I've
is
heard exactly the same
what
thing.
What sort of level it is, I don't know.
But that's such a good point. I think like that's what Vox used to be more of, didn't it? That was producers and things who used to go along to that. And so people thought they could potentially gain work from it maybe. And that's obviously changed now.
I tell you one thing that came up quite often through conversations, that whole Mandy thing with
Oh
the terms
shit!
and
Yeah,
conditions.
yeah.
People were absolutely outraged about it. Have you
Well, I'm
seen?
not surprised. Yeah.
So as far as I understand it, well, as far as I'm aware, there's been a very recent update in the last like 12 hours where apparently they've changed it now. And it looks
Yeah.
like it was because it's not, I have no idea what's true or not, but somebody suggested on one of the Facebook groups that it's because they've bowed down to pressure and
So
equity's
do you
got
want to just
involved.
say what the original changes were?
So it's for those that don't know, Mandy, the P2P site,
Which is owned by Backstage.
which is owned by Backstage, they merged with somebody else, didn't they?
Star Now.
So anyway, what's happened is they've done an update to their terms and conditions, which basically, without going into all the jargon, essentially gives them unequivocal rights to the use of your audio to use in any way, shape or form they want.
Or video, I guess, as well.
Or video without no reimbursement,
and they
no
can use it for whatever,
notification.
whenever, forever.
However, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and not only will you A, not know about it, B, you can do absolutely naff all about it as well.
It is terrifying. I just don't know how it's allowed.
Well, do you know what? Right, okay, so I actually came across something like this, a little bit similar. Well, I'll tell you, before I waffle on about that. So obviously everyone's just gone batshit crazy over it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because it is batshit crazy.
As performers, it's like, hang on a minute, let me get this straight. If you're telling me
Who
that
the
I've
fuck
got
are you?
no...
Yeah.
Like, we need, like, no, you have to, what are you doing? Like, I don't know, it seems the most short-sighted thing to do. And then in a time when we've got people concerned about rights and usage over their use of voice with AI and stuff, and then you've got this huge platform that comes out and goes, oh, by the way, if you sign up to us, we're going to own everything you do what we want with it, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like, who on earth signed off on that? Are you like... It blows my mind sometimes the level of stupidity that some of these companies come out with.
But anyway, seeing what they can get away with.
Right. So anyway,
it's not stupidity, is it? Because they know what they're doing.
I guess so. But anyway, but again, I say that somebody might know more about it and go, well, it wasn't. It was because of X, Y, Z. So I'm only just making my comment based on what I know.
Let us know. I mean,
so
if there's
I'm
a good
wrong,
reason, let us know. But I doubt it very much.
So obviously everyone's gone crazy, and then suddenly it's been pulled down, and apparently it's been changed. Now somebody's equity have been copied into this many, many, many times. Yeah. So somebody has made a suggestion that they think equity have made them change it, and a new version has gone back up. Yeah. So if that's the case, then great. But it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
No, it shouldn't. But I still don't know if that means like things are safe. Like I don't know if it's still active actually, but I've certainly got a profile on Star Now from years ago, and Mandy as well. So I'm like, do I then need to remove everything now to be careful? Probably.
I'm put off. I'm going to do it regardless because if I don't,
because I kept it for like CEO because it's just like
it
helps with the CEO if you've got these things. But yeah, absolutely, we can't risk it.
One problem I've got is some companies start out with the right intentions, the right sort of. You know, we've got...
They do. And like Star Now was originally like set up by some people in New Zealand, and it was a small thing, and it was like really cool. Like, you know, as you say, it starts off nice and then it gets like bought out and then it's evil.
Here's my... Sometimes, like some companies, they start out with the right intentions, with the right morals, and, you know, we're going to do this because the industry does this and we want to change it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then a period of time may pass... and that company might get more and more popular, start making more and more revenue. And unfortunately, the truth of the matter is, greed changes people. Money changes people. And it can blur the line between what's right and what's wrong if it's profitable. And, you know, I can't think how they thought that would be acceptable, but for whatever reason they did. And it's just, if a company's got that intention...
Yeah.
If I don't trust them, simple as that. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. So I'm just like, I don't care if you've changed it. You shouldn't have had to change it because you had to bow down to pressure. The very fact that your intention was to try and do us all over is why I'm out of there.
Yeah, that's such a good point. It's such a
done.
good point.
Do you know what I mean? It's like...
But I hope that they see like a drop in people using it, like clients as well, like people posting on that. I don't know, like it's probably worth... Because I know that some people do work on there, like who... You know, smaller companies or people who are, I don't know. It's just, I hope that people are like, actually, I'm not going to do this now because of what you've done.
I got a job through from, and this has got nothing to do with Vocant themselves, but I got a job through from Vocant. And I do like Vocant. I've always sang their praises. I think they're a great company.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good stuff.
They are guilty, and I will say this because I think it's fair, they are guilty of letting themselves down a little bit because I know they were built off, you know, right rates for voiceover stuff, and they've always been fantastic. But they are a little guilty of sending through some jobs they know are way below standard. They
I
are
have
guilty
never
of that.
received a decent offer.
Right.
ever.
Okay. Well, I've
They've
had
always
many.
been low.
80 to 90% of the jobs I've had in Voquent are fair and right.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I get so much like, really, do you think that's acceptable? And I've turned them down. But there was one that I got from, but I'm not going to shit on Voquent because I still
and a lot of
always
people,
recommend them. I still think they're fantastic. But it's a
and the
shame
people
that they've
seem
let
really
themselves
nice.
down a little.
The actual people,
They're fantastic.
seem really nice.
They're fantastic. But it's a shame that they've let themselves down a little bit by doing that because they know better, and they know offering a voiceover project with 3,500 words for 200 quid is not acceptable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A corporate job. You don't. That's especially when they send me another one the day later for 150 words for 200 quid. Do you know what I mean? So make it make sense. Anyway, different story. I don't want to complain about them because I still will always highly recommend them. I think they're fantastic. So anyway, I got this job off them a little while ago. And they sent me through and said, can you have a look at the terms and conditions, the usage from the company, make sure you're happy with it, and then let us know what you think. So I was like, okay, cool, will do. Had a look at it. And I've forgotten what it was. It was towards some sort of TV commercial. First of all, the rate was definitely way off what it should have been for a TV spot. So that was like my first sort of thing. But then I looked at but then when I looked at the terms, oh, Jen, honest to God, they were almost like basically saying, "Can I have the deeds to your house?" Like it was literally they wanted me to sign away everything, like everything.
God.
And it was basically saying that by providing us your voiceover work, you agree that we can. And they used every single phrase in the dictionary they can have to say that once we've got it, we can do whatever. It was like another version of the Mandy thing, but it felt, when I was reading it, I was like, flipping heck. Like,
but I don't understand why Voquent didn't say, like, because they obviously flagged it with you to make sure you were
Well, I
sure.
think I think that they don't put any. The good thing about Voquent is they don't say, like, there's no one trying to twist your arm like, oh, it could be long. They literally look, listen.
No, but I mean, why aren't they being a gate? I suppose they're not an agent, are they? But like, there should be a gatekeeper being like, actually, I don't think this is.
Well, I think they were good to
good
highlight
for our voices.
I mean, I always read certain terms, especially nowadays. But I think, I like the fact that they make me aware of it.
I need to be better. Yeah, I suppose so.
They go out their way.
But
Yeah, they say, listen, just have a read of that before you agree to anything.
Scares me.
So I was like, okay, fine, because they leave it up to me. But I think I like the fact that they make sure I'm aware of it. So
yeah.
And I went back to I said, look, first off, the fee needs readdressing because it's a TV spot. I said, I can't sign that agreement. I basically told her the reasons why. I said, if they are happy to tighten it up so that my voice can only be used for this project, then fine. But they're asking me to sign away everything, and I've got nothing.
Yeah.
And not only, like, they wanted to use my voice in any capacity they wanted, AI or not. So they could go create a campaign selling, flipping dildos for all I know, and they've got my AI voice promoting it. It's ridiculous. So I was like, no. But anyway, so she said, I'll go back to them and let you know. So, and I
so
never
you've not
heard
back then.
No,
shocker.
didn't hear back, no.
Yeah.
But obviously then seeing the Mandy thing, I don't know, it's made me think, are companies thinking that they can get away with doing this? I don't know. Like, is it?
Probably because they can. Like, they must have been, I don't know. Like, I'm so glad that people were on it because I am a bit shit reading T's and C's. I need to be better to protect myself.
Well, I was saying, who was I talking to now? I think it was Dan Pye. Me and Dan were chatting for a lot about stuff. I'm sure it was Dan.
Yeah.
I've always doubled down on the opinion that the only time change is going to come is when the celebrities get hit.
Yeah.
Because they don't care about the small fry like us. But when the celebrities who have these multi-million-dollar contracts, when their voices are being cloned and ripped off, that's when legislation will come because the big record companies are losing money. And you've already seen it with the likes of Drake. Drake put a post out. Drake, rapper's a loose term, but Drake put a post out a few months ago saying, right, because a song was made with his voice AI'd up. Brand new song, AI Drake voice, and he put a post out, right, enough's enough, something's got to change. I was like, right, thank fuck for that, because that's what you need. It's when you it's when your Taylor Swifts get ripped off, your Drakes get ripped off, the Michael Jackson estate gets ripped off, and etc., etc. That's when we will all benefit from the legislation change. But until then, we're just fighting a very dark war.
Going back to the One Voice conference for a second, there was a talk which I didn't attend, which was the AI Google person. Again, I can't remember any of the details. A lady came to speak, and she is like the voice for knowing all about this. So if anybody does have a conference ticket and didn't get a chance, go back and watch it, because Hugh was saying it was incredibly useful because she knows everything in terms of this, and like Google are leading the way in terms of AI. So if you did get a ticket, do go back and watch that.
What did she say?
I wasn't there. That's what I'm saying. People,
Oh, right. Sorry.
but I just heard that I was speaking to Hugh afterwards, and he was saying it's a shame that it wasn't a very well attended. I don't think it was the same time as Ali Lang's one from Maple Street Creative, but apparently it was a lot of very useful information. No, I do know the highlights of it was basically don't worry.
Right. Well, yeah, and I've been saying that for a while. I have been saying that for a long time.
I know you have, but as much as I love you, maybe you don't know as much about AI as this woman.
Oh
from
God,
Google.
no, of course not. I know enough all the guys. I just feel like there's.
I know, and I think you're right, and I think there's
but
it was reassuring. So I will watch it, and I'll get back to back to the group about the headlines.
No, we've talked about this. So I'm not going to go into it again. But
don't go
essentially,
into it now,
I've always said hysteria. But the terms and conditions thing, I do stand by that point.
Yeah.
I think change will come when the celebrities start getting affected. That's when I think you'll see change.
But we just need to protect ourselves, and I'm so grateful for Equity that they are trying as hard as they are to keep us safe, basically. So thank you, Equity.
Well,
I'm exhausted.
We've come to the end.
Oh my gosh! Well, the end.
Do you know what? I've never done a podcast before. We started this as a passion project. We didn't have an ambition to,
no ambition.
Make loads of money out of it. We just, like we've said so many times, we just wanted to recreate or try and recreate that chatty feeling that you have when you go to the conferences and whatnot.
Yeah.
And, from a lot of the stuff that I heard on Saturday and Sunday from you that listened to it, that's definitely come across. But I never knew I would love it so much. I never knew I would fall in love with this whole concept of, because it's kind of therapeutic in a way, isn't it? Like, even though it's just me and you talking.
I think you and I are probably a bit too honest sometimes, so that might bite us in the future.
I've said, like I was
I know, but
people,
in a year's time, people are like you. Well, you said blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but I think the honesty is important. Like I don't have. Well. Some people, and everyone's each to their own. Some people like to have like a slightly protective veil on just to protect some of their personal whatever, and that's obviously perfectly normal and fine. But for me, I don't have any problem exposing or telling my wares or whatever, because that's just life. Life is never singing from singing in the rain. Sometimes it can be a bit of a shitty day, and it's perfectly okay to admit that. And I think just being that honest makes you more relatable, and for those people that can relate to it, obviously it's not for everyone. And
we definitely swear for some people.
But we're not vulgar. We're just we just let the tongue loose a little bit, but we don't set out to be vulgar or anything like that. We're just two normal people who just say shit or fuck every now and then. But this has been quite possibly one of the most fun, exciting, nerve-wracking journeys of trying something new that I've ever done. And, I'm so grateful that you agreed to jump on board, and it very quickly became like, it started off as my brainchild at Christmas, and then outside of me just suggesting a podcast and the concept, it went literally from that very, very point to a 50-50 all the way thing.
It's one of those things that you just say yes to immediately and think, what the fuck have I got myself in for? But it has been a lot of fun. I mean, we spent a lot of time doing it, but it has been an absolute ball, and it's been so nice having people on and sharing their experiences, and it's been a good laugh. I hope that people can carry on feeling connected, and it's just
and that one thing that's important, we obviously are incredibly grateful to those that came on, Shiraz.
Yeah, we are. I reckon people are switching off at this point.
Yeah, well, if you're still here, thanks.
We really appreciate those people who are sticking out to hear the thanks.
Absolutely. Shiraz, Susie, Scott, Kelly, Carla. Thanks very much for coming on board. It's a new podcast. Sometimes people are a bit wary about being part of it because they don't know what it's going to be received. But
God, have we learned a lot though? Like right at the beginning, we had so many fucking mishaps.
We did episode 1 3 times.
3 times. I left the tumble dryer running and didn't realise until at the end, and I looked at my waveform and it was atrocious. And then what did you do? Oh, you didn't have headphones on.
Didn't have headphones
so that
on.
The blood. Oh my God, it was like the worst rookie mistakes you can make. So
but we learned, I'm glad
trial and error,
mistakes.
Baby.
And there's still things to look. So
start before you're ready.
Yeah. So, but if anyone's wondering, we do intend to do season 2
after a break.
We're going to regroup. We're going to have a think about. There are some things that I would like to add into the podcast as like just little fun little features, which I ran by some people at One Voice who loved the idea. So we're going to take a little bit of time just to have a think. This has largely taken over our lives for the last sort of
Yeah.
6,
I
7,
haven't
8
done
weeks.
any marketing, and it's been quite a good excuse. But at some point, I am going to have to start promoting my own business.
Yeah. But we definitely intend to be back for season 2. We're just going to have a very, very small break.
Oh, it's small. Okay, we'll talk about that after the podcast.
Yeah. But sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for everyone who has liked, shared, supported, spoken to us about how much they enjoyed it, the DMs that we get. It really, it really does mean the world to us, and it certainly encourages us to want to continue going on a bit longer and doing some more.
Absolutely. And are we going to round it off together?
Oh, 100%.
Thank you for listening to
the Off-Air
Voiceover Podcast. Hooray!
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We absolutely love your support to pieces, and we absolutely look forward to having you on board for season 2 of the Off-Air Voiceover Podcast. Have a great summer, folks. Catch you in the next one.